I'm ready.
Testing. There we go. All fixed. All right. So, last time we had all left off, the party had taken a train to the promising city of Dhromas, thanks to some personal artifacts pulling them towards this area, and a bit of a clue from the people that they had just beaten. On their way to Dhromas, the party had taken a train to get there as their primary mode of transportation. Upon the train, they had a chance to talk to a bunch of the fellas and miss fellas that were all heading towards the city of Dhromas. Now, some time had gone by, but the train is rather quite quick. So, upon arriving, or upon getting closer to the destination of the beaming city, instead of going there full on through, as in one ride, the train had to make a stop before ever getting to the city, as the city itself is sitting atop some very loose ground. Thus, building an entire underground system for the trains to ride through would be a disastrous idea, if not impossible entirely. So, the party got out of their train, ready to be picked up by something, presumably. One of your party members had expected a very specific type of vessel to come pick you up. However, none of the sort came about. What did pick you all up was a bunch of sand-faring vehicles that would be much more fitted to take you all to the destination that you're all looking to go to. Now, as you take part in a bunch of these vehicles that can take you to the city, you would start noticing that if you look at the same spot of sand for more than a few minutes, you could almost swear that it was moving, sort of shifting all in the same direction. One of you, Roz, you would know that in the city of Dhromas, the sands themselves shift. But typically this takes a very, very long time. Almost in the same way that the ocean is rising. You can't look at the ocean and see it happen, but over well, definitely hundreds, but over years upon years, you would notice that it is in fact rising. Now, however, now if you look at just any random dune, if you look at it for more than like a few minutes at a time, you can actually see it start shifting as well, which is way faster than you remember it going. And you would know specifically that in the city, or in this particular part of the world, this city hangs out or is built upon where two of the arms meet of the planet. I'm sure you've all seen the map of the world in the data tab, and in between the top left and bottom left arm is where the city of Dhromas is located and the surrounding desert is. Now, typically the way that the city functions, or the way it functions now, is that the sand actually is shifting for whatever reason, you're not entirely sure. It is shifting towards the edge of the planet, whereas, once it gets there, there's these incredibly eye-catching, quote-unquote, waterfalls, but instead, it's a bunch of sand that is being careened off the side, as it's no longer capable of going any further. Now, instead of it falling into the infinite void forever, what ends up happening is that it falls into, or onto the underside of the planet. Because this planet, as your characters would pick up at some point in their life, the planet itself is missing roughly 70 to 75% of its mass. Therefore, it is incapable of sustaining the proper gravitational pull necessary to keep all of you standing on the planet, let alone, entire civilizations. So, instead of just keeping everybody down, is underneath the core of the planet, or where the core would be, there is a the what's it called? Astronomical phenomena there. What's there is a ball that is just completely black, almost like a black sun. That is, instead, its gravitational pull is exceptionally intense for its size and mass. And it is pulling down everything onto the planet itself instead of the planet doing it. Now what's happening is that the sand that falls off the side, as it goes into free fall, it's immediately being pulled towards the black sun that's underneath the planet. But before it can get there, it hits the underside of the planet because the sun is sort of tucked in underneath as the planet bows around it. So the sand is hitting the underside of the desert once again, and this way, the sands are in this perpetual motion of always falling off and being picked up by the gravity and hitting on the underside of the desert, waiting for their chance to be unearthed and slide down once again. It's like a little cosmic slide. Now, when this happens, on rare occasions, well, not as rare anymore, but back in the day it was quite rare. What would happen is that some sand, when being hit by the elements, specifically rain, as an example, would sort of harden and be more difficult to move. Then what would happen is new sand would sort of fall over top of it, and when this happens, the hardened sand underneath can create sort of small air pockets that the new sand is then rubbing up over top of, and sort of creating a resonance, almost a sound, as if they're beginning to sing. And whenever that happens, the entire city hosts a carnival. And this phenomena is known as the Shifting Sands Carnival, or Festival, excuse me. The real name is the Singing Shift Festival. Excuse me, I looked at the wrong note. Now, because the sand is moving this fast, you would expect that any city that is built inside of the desert would be toppled to nothing in no time. However, once you get close to this city, you notice that it is built upon rocks upon rocks. There's these extremely large rocks sitting in the middle of the desert. And at the bottom of these big rocks that are almost mountainous in size, you would notice that there are hundreds upon hundreds of tons of this glowing green rock that is sort of a sea green type color. And it is perpetually glowing. Though it's not extremely bright, you could definitely see that it is glowing to some degree. And I'll just go ahead and show you the map in Owlbear. Oh, right. I forgot to... That is... I built this on a different account because I had all the maps ready and everything. I have to give you a new invite code for a different room. Get how to do that, but give me a second. Oh, there we go. I'll post that in general real quick. There you go. I was getting a little concerned that nobody had yet to join the Owlbear, but I just forgot I was in a different room. There you go. I'll go ahead and show you the map. And there. You can see that it is built upon a base of a crumbly looking mountain. And then at the bottom of it, there's this incredibly large range of crickmetine, as it's called, stone that is embedded into the sides of these mountainous areas, which seem to be man-made. It's not just ore that happens to have formed in this way. It is a very deliberate man-made effort to, well, I'll explain to you what crickmetine is used for. One of you, Roz, you would know that crickmetine is a very special mineral that the leader of this land, Lord Malekith, has damn near infinite access to, thanks to an incredible mine system that he has control over. Crickmetine is sort of a crystalline structure, gemstone-ish, that, under certain spectacular circumstances, magical in nature, it has some sort of control over sound. It can emit sound, it can destroy sound, it can amplify sound, depending on how and if you pump magic into it. It can also hold a charge of magic for a surprisingly long time itself. So, the main thing that this is being used for is for the airships of this land. Lord Malekith himself has sort of mainlined this effort to create or to study this crickmetine in every manner possible. And one of the bigger inventions or possibilities that they noticed is that if magic is pumped into the stone at specific frequencies, it can be made to emit enough sound downwards to lift itself and a lot of other stuff up with it, thus creating the airships that are now known. And it seemingly they've utilized the very same stone to ensure that the entire city is aloft. Though not hanging in the middle of the air randomly, it is hovering ever so slightly above the actual ground. If it was raised much higher, it would take a lot more magic to make it do such. This is practically only to ensure that the city is not wafted away with the shifting sands over time, but is instead safe above them. As you make your way towards the city and enter the city proper, you would notice that it is in a state of euphoria all across, as people are having fun, hanging about, and primarily taking part in this festival. And it wouldn't be super hard for you all to figure out a bunch of games that are going on in the city. You can notice that there are titles scattered across the map here, of all kinds of contests, all kinds of fun activities hanging about. Should you go to any one of these festivals or any one of these contests, I imagine you'll get to meet quite a few colorful, well, maybe you can try and taste them, probably won't go well. There's probably an array of colorful entities you could meet at one of these contests. All that having been said, what would you all like to do?
What is the party thinking?
So I believe Huron is not in the new owlbear.
Am I not? I've been in the owlbear for a while. It's still the train.
Yeah,
There's a new one.
yeah. In general, I sent a new one because I forgot that I'm in a different room that I set up the map for today. There you go. Once you get in, you'll see the map of Dhromas as I was describing it, and then a bunch of potential like contests or fun activities that are happening about the city as it enters a more festive aroma.
Why am I a lizard?
I don't know. It probably
It randomizes
gave you
the name.
Yeah, probably
before you
gave you a
join.
random name.
Also, why is my capsule on? That's not supposed to be there.
So the party would be capable of gathering enough information to know where these contests are being held. So, as far as the characters are concerned, your characters know as much as you do in this moment.
Is this a really old tradition that they're doing right now?
Yes. It used to be...
Okay.
You would know what this is. It used to be far less common than it is nowadays, because the sands would shift much slower than they do now.
Well,
Yeah. Hmm.
I've been here I've been here before, so whatever you all want to do, I'm here with it.
Okay.
This is just my home. Anything in particular?
That'd be also be an interesting point, Roz. You know of the airships that exist here, and you know that where they are, which is over where it says Racton in the top left. That is the hub of where they typically come in and fly away from. Though you would notice that all of the airships seem to be in town, but they're not in use currently.
Hmm.
They're all
Okay.
ground-borne.
Hmm. What contests do we want to try?
It's up to you. None of them are particularly dangerous unless you somehow really misinterpret the rules. Though there is a few potentials for some coin. Well, mainly coin. I never set up any other any other rewards. So, any particular interest? I could also start telling to you all of the actual physical things that are there, like the particular factions that have control over the area, the institutions that are actually there. That might help foster some interest as well. So,
Well, I was thinking about starting with a bit of a barrel run.
ooh, the barrel run contest. Okay. How are we all feeling about that?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So, as you make your way to the barrel run contest, you would notice a few fellers there already. So, as you get there, you would notice that this is being held outside of the prestigious post of the city, which is their, their postal system, and this is the main sort of hub where it all happens. You would notice that Mr. Velamik is here, whom I believe, yes, you did come into contact with this one, whom you sent back to his fiancée. And then Mr. Q is also here, whom was on the ship, or not on the ship, on the train, trying to hush his child to varying degrees of success. But there's also a new person there, whom Roz might remember as... But if you do, you would remember them to be a... Actually, no, this one you wouldn't remember. This one goes by the name of Tuktan Lizai. And I'll tell you a little bit about her. So, Tuktan is the caretaker of domestic affairs. She's a young elven woman with long brown hair and sort of a flowing dress. However, she is not completely unprotected. She is wearing sort of light armor that is built into her dress to look good, yet practical if the need arises. And there you go. If any of you would like to strike up a conversation with them, or we can get right on started with the barrel run contest.
It doesn't sound like I have any reason to talk to anybody, so.
Mr. Q is the one that had the baby, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna ask, how is the baby? Are they doing better?
Oh, yes. I must apologize for how I didn't sort of talk back to any of you at the time. But she is now laying in bed. Not much one for travel. She is.
Quite understandable.
Are you all participating in the barrel run contest?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. much more dexterous than I had taken some of you then, huh?
No, just observing for me.
Ah. Well, it does have an entry fee of 10 silver pieces, so it makes sense not to do it if you don't think you could win. Regardless, I think it is about to start, so have fun and do well, all of you.
And good luck to you as well.
All right. So, the 3 participants that are here already are starting to get ready for the contest. As you can see that more people are gathering there, seemingly getting ready for it to start. So, anybody whom would like to partake in this event, please knock yourself off 10 silver pieces, and you will be entered with the potential of winning. First place will win 60 silver pieces, second place will win 40, third place will win 20. That all depends on how well the NPCs do as well. And yeah.
I'll race.
I thought you said I'll raise, as in like a bet.
No. I will race.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. So we have 1 contestant going
I will
in.
too.
We got 2.
I will too.
Very good. So, assuming that
I
will
am
be
but a
all.
wizard.
That's fair. So our 2 contestants, the point of the game is to get to 50 feet of length. Now, I will be asking a bunch of acrobatics checks from you, and then telling you if you move 10, fall, move back 10, etc. So I would like you to take care of how many feet you've traveled so far, and if you get to 50, then please do call that out. So, as you all get ready, you get handed a bunch of barrels to put upon yourselves, and you hear 3, 2, 1, go! So, the both of you, please roll me an acrobatics check if you'd like.
Acrobatics. Where's my... I'm fixed acrobatics. There's my acrobatics.
+5. Let's go. That sucks. That's a 10.
Wow.
Oh, +5. Yeah. Where's my...
Yep.
Do-do-do.
Do I get any bonuses here because my speed is greater than 30 feet? Or for my powerful form?
20 plus...
Let's say with both of those and giving you being who you are, an extra +2 on top of these rolls.
In that case, make it a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Monk moment.
Okay, I got a 15.
Alright, 12 nets you stay still on your spot, trying your best not to fall down. So no feet for that movement. 15,
Zero movement?
Yeah, you move 10 feet with a 15.
Okay.
Alright. And next round, please.
21.
14.
14, you move 10 feet. 21, you move 15 feet. Well done. Next round.
5. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to... Oh, +5. 15.
It's another 10 feet.
A dirty 20?
That's 15 feet for you. Very nice. Alright, next round.
14.
26.
14 nets you another 10. 26 nets you 15. Yeah.
Already lost track. I think 35.
35. I'm at 40.
Oh, maybe 45.
Alright. And next round, probably the last one.
25.
Ooh, 15 feet.
7.
Gets me over
I
50.
feel-
Unfortunately, on a 1 to 7, the contestant falls, and everybody makes it to the end spot without them. You have effectively been knocked out of the competition. However,
Okay.
your ally now given this little chance of extra speed. That makes no sense. Taking the opportunity that you've going forward
my notes.
in the race, your ally moves past the finish line and takes the first place reward of 60 silver pieces, or 6 gold.
Woo!
You almost got knocked out of the race on the first roll, Huron. That would have sucked.
That would have been terrible. You said 60 silver pieces?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I will take 10 of those silver pieces and give them back to Alara.
Thank you.
Just so you didn't lose anything.
Very nice. And then you look over to your other contestants. Mr. Ralamek is laying in the dirt, like practically at the starting line. Mr. Q made quite some way. And Tuktan Lizai has deftly, not quite as much as you, but has definitely made their way towards a strong second place. She looks over to you like, oh, well done.
Well,
You're quite fast.
Yes, I have been underestimated many times by others. I'm much quicker than I look.
Indeed you are. I bet it's a very powerful thing to be used, though, by you. Underestimation, that is.
It's useful.
Well done. Alright. Any interest in any other one of the games that you can see before you all?
The stump chopping contest.
Everybody would like to follow that as well?
Yes, I'm following with. I went to one of the stands and got a glass of wine. I'm just kind of watching, sipping.
Right. What? All kinds of drink, all kinds of snacks would be very easy to procure for you all.
I know the spots.
I think after a good run, Huron is ready for some snacks.
All right, easy enough. There's plenty of places that just participate out of the free will, or out of their own free goodwill. Man, words are hard today. There's a lot of people that participate just for fun, and they're giving out snacks to practically anybody whom is willing to receive them. All right. As you make your way towards the stump chopping contest, you would notice. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the characters that you all interacted with, but I believe you saw this gentleman.
These guys.
Yeah, I believe you saw Guardsman Hork on the train. He is a guard of the town here. And excuse me while I look up what I called them fellers. That's the original. Oh, I didn't write down anything for him, but I did write down anything. The other gentleman that you see, whom is a very well-dressed looking individual. His armor, while plentiful in protecting him, is also extremely well made. It seems to be carved with ceremonial purpose in mind, and just plain looking good, while also looking intimidating, as it is exceptionally all over him. So, the person you see before you, okay. I was control F'ing to find his name in my documents, but I just typed in DRA and just found dragon. Okay. So, the person in front of you is Jardoon Irongate. Jardoon is the leader of the local guard, known as the Claspsman. He is, like I said, an impressively well-armored elf, whose armor is very well made and decorated, and seemingly very expensive as well. Now, Roz,
It would be.
you would recognize Dradoon. However, last time you saw him, you remembered him as nothing more than a... not quite child, but as an adolescent. A very young gentleman. Nowadays, however, he is seemingly pushing more towards being a middle-aged half-elf, which is a little jarring to you.
I stop and inspect my drink. Oh. Sorry, I was muted. I stop and I inspect my drink.
All right.
Make sure there's nothing too
Roll me an
strong
investigation.
in there. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. It is 18.
All right. That's actually pretty high. All right. So, as you inspect your own drink, for your first thought is that perhaps you were either poisoned or must have taken something bad. As you inspect the contents of your drink, you notice that while not the best quality ever made, you don't think, actually, that there are no super strong alcohols added, no hallucinogens, nothing that would make you straight up see a human, or elf, excuse me, that you've seen before but older.
I think I would notice that this wine, the place that I got it from a usual place, just kind of stopped in real quick. It's definitely worse than it used to be.
Checks out.
I don't know why, but I've definitely concluded that.
It also seemed the wine got more expensive than typical, though on this rare occasion they do put forward a good grace. But it seemed like the place itself had shrunk. Like they used to spend a lot more money than they now do. The business seems to be much more struggling than it once was.
Copy.
Alright. So for the stump chopping contest, it will be 10 silver pieces to enter. You will be given a stump put in front of you. You are to attack this stump with whatever weapon you have. You're allowed to use anything on your person. Well, not anything on your person. You're allowed to use your weapon. And you're supposed to basically attack the stump. And the quickest, or the person whom takes the least amount of attacks at it, but splits it, is the one that wins.
Okay, I'll use my short sword.
You know what? I'll jump into this and I'll try and use my fists.
Metal as fuck. All right. 10 silver pieces for both.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I know this is probably not going to go well.
I assume our wizard is perhaps sitting this one out.
Oh yeah. I'm doing that thing where they look over. I'm on the
beard.
They look over the bleachers and I'm got the sunglasses on. I lift my wine glass. The drunk ant moment.
Mm-hmm.
Who's dealing with an existential crisis of what's in his cup? All right. So, as the contest begins, you're all lined up in front of your respective stumps and told to basically attack it and try to break it, or try to split it in half. Those are the only, well, not the only rules, but that's the objective. The rules are, you are not to use outside influence. You are not to... Basically, you're allowed to use your own powers, but not physical objects besides your weapon. So if you pull out a bomb and blow it up, that's not gonna fly. But if you use, like, a smite or rage or things of that nature, those are allowed. So, let's say contestant number 1 is Huron. 2 is our second player, and then 3 and 4 will be these two NPCs here. Hork and Dradoon. So, number 1. I would like you to, using whatever you wish, to make an attack on this stump. A singular attack.
Right. +5. Just one single attack.
Yes. Every attack will be noted down as... I'm basically going to go attack by attack by attack, jumping from each player.
Okay, so I'm not allowed to use Flurry of Blows on this?
You can, but it won't make you go faster. Every attack is a noted attack.
Okay. 23.
Alright. 23 hits.
And you want my damage?
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's one attack.
Nope. Just 3.
Oh,
So it's probably not going to go well. 7 damage.
Okay, 7 damage. Noted. Alright. Player 2.
Oh. Okay, 20. Okay. Plus 4. $21.
Nice. So one attack, that hits.
Okay, D6 plus 2. 5.
Alright, 5 total damage. Both of you do roughly about the same, and you do a good bit of damage, but it will take quite some more hitting to get done. Alright.
Mhm.
Now for Mr. Hork. He goes in for an attack. You whip out the Google dice. Unfortunately, Captain Hork, or Guardsman Hork, he's not the captain. Guardsman Hork takes a swing at the stump and just dink, his blade just absolutely bounces off of it and he misses, quote unquote.
Tell you, man, it's that desert mesquite. Gotta be careful.
Alright. Now, Jadoon is going to take a swing. Alright. Jadoon takes out this long, double-handed blade that he throws up behind himself, and he comes down on top of this stump, and almost like a of light, like a little explosion of light, it's a large explosion of light, emanates from his podium as he makes the swing, almost blinding everybody who's trying to see what happens. And as your vision once again manages to focus on what's in front of you, you notice that the two stumps have been blown apart and are now on opposite ends of the city square. And he takes first place as he destroys his stump in one swing.
Show off.
Maybe. Got
He just smote a piece of wood.
Yep. All right. Back to 1. Here on if you'd like.
Let's try this again. 21 to hit.
Hit.
Mm-hmm. Four.
All right. 4. You make good further way into breaking into the piece of wood. You're roughly 1/3 of the way there.
I didn't figure it would be fast.
That's true. In terms of amount of hits, in terms of real time, probably be better off. All right. Player number 2, if you'd like.
All right. 24.
Hit.
That's an natural 20.
Oh, was it? Very nice.
Mhm.
That's double damage, baby.
6. Oh, it's double damage for that?
Double the dice.
Yeah, double your dice.
Oh,
So you could do 8 plus 2, or then roll another d6.
okay.
I assume 8 plus 2 then? For 10 total?
Yeah.
Alright. With a strike that seemed to have followed the grain of the wood, he managed to split it to roughly halfway down the size of the stump. Very well done. All right. Hork's going to take another swing. And he hits this time. Good going, buddy. You're going for it. All right. He does take a meaty swing at the log, and he barrows his blade roughly 1/3 of the way down the log. All right. And Dradoon has now left his post as he is collecting his winnings. All right. Back to 1.
That'll be a 16.
Hits.
Another 4.
Damage. All right. You now feel that you've made your way roughly halfway down the wood.
There's a nice even crack going straight through it. Lovely.
Say what you will, you're doing... The crack you're creating looks a lot nicer than the other ones. Even
I'm
if
doing it
just
with my fists.
Okay.
All right. Up next.
All right. 12.
Unfortunately, once you plant your blade into this one, once again, you unfortunately have it crooked a little bit, and you hit the top end of the stump rather than being able to chop further into where you've been digging the hole, or well, cutting it up. It's technically a miss. All right, Hork is up. My God, he's doing a. In the other campaign, he did like, or in the other, with the other group, he had to hit like 10 times before he hit the wood. And was struggling. Right. With another decisive swing coming from Hork, he's made his way roughly almost 2/3 of the way through. All right. That's his 3rd hit. Back to 1.
All right, another roll. 18 to hit.
Hit. Oh, 4th attack.
And another D4. 5 damage this time.
Very nice. With another strong punch, you feel that you've made your way 2/3 of the way there. Next up.
All right. 15.
Hit.
All right. 2. 8.
8. Right. You feel strongly that you've made your way slightly past 2/3. Right. Huron misses, or not Huron. Hork misses. So Huron is up next.
12. I think that's a miss.
12 does miss. Up next.
Yep.
All right. 9. Miss.
It's a miss as well. Let's see if Hork does much better. Barely. 10. Oh, Jesus. All right. With another mighty attack from Hork, he pushes through the last 1/3 of his log and manages to break it in half. Not quite as destructively as his predecessor. However, he has taken 2nd place. Though 3rd place is still up
It's a
for
race for
grabs.
3rd.
Yes. All right. Huron.
11. No good.
Misses. Up next. Another miss.
12. Misses.
Back to Huron.
Natural 20.
Ooh, that might do some damage.
Yeah, 2d4 this time.
Nice.
7 damage.
All right. With another meaty whack, you feel like you've made your way through a vast majority of the log or the stump. All right. But not quite through it. Up next.
Okay, roll.
Oh,
24. Nat 20.
oh boy.
Let's see. That's what? 2d6s and then my
Yes.
+2.
2d6 plus your normal bonus.
Roll. 10.
Oh, that's not good.
All right. And then with another big swing, you manage to push your blade through the last few fibers that is holding this little stump together, and it gives way to the iron of your blade, steel of your blade, and it slowly parts to both sides. And you have taken third place in this competition. That is a reward of... 50 silver pieces back to you.
Okay.
So 5 gold.
And because we're all being nice, I'm gonna give him his 10 silver pieces back.
You don't have to, but I appreciate it. By the way, would 6 more damage on my log break through it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
You have 3 more to go. Alright. As you all are finishing up with the contest, you see that Mr. Irongate is currently walking towards this very large main palace-looking area. That's to your right this here. And he seems to be making his way back inside. And Hork just plops down with a random, with a pretzel. He sits down like, yay, second place. Best I could hope for. Anything else that catches your eye?
I was thinking about the giant boar rodeo.
Yeah, I still want to go, but you guys can go there first. We'll do that.
I know I'm definitely not going to the dancing contest.
Neither am I.
I was mildly thinking about it, but there is one place that I do want to go.
I mean, if it's acrobatics or athletics, I am pretty high up. I might be able to do the dancing contest.
I believe that dancing is a combination of a few abilities.
Oops.
All right, so the rest of the party is aiming to go to the giant bull rodeo then, still?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Sure.
And we've got one person sneaking away to where?
Oh, no. I'm doing mine after. Kid's next to that, so
okay,
I'll
cool.
wait till after.
Right, gotcha. All right.
No sneaking away.
You all make your way... Didn't mean to call you a snake. You all make your way down to where the giant boar rodeo was being held. This is the area controlled by the Groudon family, though currently people are just in all over, right? So these two folks are not Groudon, but this sort of this lower area is generally under the control of the Groudons. So, people you see in front of you, ready for the competition. I spelled this name wrong. Ready for the competition is Veerback, whom apparently I didn't write a backstory for. Poor fella. He is a member of the Groudon family, though they're not as ingratiated or not as established as the other families. They are not yet a house. They are a bunch of human craftsmen that have been focused on metalwork and stonework, mainly. They emerged to more than just a regular, group of biologically similar humans, a typical family. They arose to more of a recognized family because they emerged from necessity, as they are responsible for actually physically creating the armor of the guards and the preparation of Crickmatine, sort of the first step of the production of physically viable Crickmatine. Or not the whole process, which is why they're not running the city, but they are definitely the first prep, getting the stone ready from just pure being mined to we're going to use it in airships. They are the first step in the way. And with him, you see a red-faced tiefling who goes by the name of Avdrazes Trigon, whom is the son of Sir Trigon, whom is the leader of the Night March Treasury and Trusts, or the Patriarch, I should say, of the Night March Treasury and Trusts, which is a bank within the city, whom are known for giving out loans to anybody whom needs them. and sponsoring a bunch of the businesses within the city itself. He is known for... He and his sister are both known for being relatively stereotypical sons of or children of a rich person, as they themselves don't really have any technical know-how, whether it be with actually creating something themselves or with running the business. So they're kind of just profiting and having fun off the money as they go about their day.
Oh, typical rich kids.
Giants or rodeo. All right. So, if you'd like to participate in the Giant Boar Rodeo, that will be 20 silver pieces for the entry fee. Though this is a competition that goes one at a time.
I was sipping my wine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try. I'm not too heavy.
And Huron, you said what?
I said that's pretty steep for the entry price.
True. I'll also let you know the rewards,
Yeah,
just for fun. If you manage to last, this is not going to mean anything to you, but if you manage to last 12 plus seconds, you are gifted a sort of a small golden statue of the boar, which is worth 50 gold pieces. If you last 9 seconds, you are given a little silver statue of the same boar, which is worth 25 gold pieces. If you last 6 seconds or less, or if you last 6 seconds, I mean, you will be gifted 120 silver pieces. And if you last... my god, there's a lot of similar words. If you last less than 6 seconds, you are a loser, unfortunately. So it is basically like getting on top an angry...
Mm-hmm.
My god, my brain. You're getting on the back of a boar. Yes, and it's gonna try and knock you off. The longer you last, the better you do. Alright.
Yeah, I'm only 200 pounds. I'm not going to crush it.
These are
probably
big
weigh
boars.
about as much as the boar.
The boars are tough. That would be fun. So, we read up on this.
Yeah.
Right. We'll have Alara go in first if you'd like. That's
Okay.
down. That's down 20 silver. And then...
Yep.
They bring in the boar, which currently has little eye flaps on itself, and it is wrapped up in all this hempen rope that is being... I almost said airlifted. That's being led towards a 15 by 15 foot corral, where it is being led. Then there's a little like step ladder for those who need it, aiming towards the back of the boar, and you're capable of getting on top of it.
Okay.
Okay, so as you get on top of the back of the boar, it is going to slam you against the side of the corral. So I would like for you to make me a dexterity save.
Dexterity save. Okay, gotta find my dexterity. I am so slow sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
There's my dexterity save, so I can figure it out. I can't see anything.
It is your dexterity mod plus your,
There
assuming
it is.
you are proficient.
Plus 3.
There you go.
Oh,
It's just a d20 plus
20
3.
plus. Yep, plus 3. Now I gotta find the right thing. 1, 2, 3. Roll. Ouch.
In a brutal display of wild fury, the boar slams against the side of the corral, and unfortunately slams you with it as you go tumbling over the side and have been bucked off the back of the boar. You have lost. You had survived less than 3 seconds, and therefore have not gained any of the potential upsides.
I want it.
All right. So, Huron, would you like to take a stab at it as well?
Yep, I paid my 20 gold.
20 silver.
20 silver, sorry.
That would be a steep bull ride.
Okay, so I rolled a natural 20 to a 25.
Well, let me first see what you have to roll.
Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. I just wasted that.
Nah, you can use that. It's fine. So, the second you get on the back of this boar, the boar immediately, his eyes fill with red-hot fury as the boar begins to rage. Which means nothing to you, but it does to me.
Of course, a barbarian. Great.
So, it saw what worked last time, so the boar is going to try and slam itself and you against the side of the corral, so that will be a dexterity save. And that was 26, you said?
20 is 25. It's what I rolled.
Good enough. So, you save on that. Despite the effort of the boar, it slams itself against the side of the corral there, but with your incredible dexterity, you managed to basically just not care at all. So, that is one of these. I'll let you know how well you did after you eventually get thrown off. So, the boar is then going to... It is going to continue to... Words really are difficult today. The boar is going to continue running in a bunch of circles, trying to get you off of its back. So, for this one, you'll need to lock in your legs to stay on top of this creature's back. So, I'd like for you to roll me a strength save, please.
Well, that's not as good. That'll be a 10.
Unfortunately, as the boar begins to run in circles around itself, your powerful hips fail you, unfortunately, and you fall off the side of the boar as it is taking its action to try and get you off. Now that you've fallen on your back, you notice the boar also stopped running. It looks at you, ready to charge. Please, roll me a dexterity save.
24.
All right. The boar comes running at you with a blinding speed. However, you're quite a bit quicker than that. You notice its intent far before it even realizes that it's going to charge you, and you do a few backflips out of the corral, and it slams its head into the side of it and falls back down on the ground with a few little Tweety birds flying above its head. Unfortunately, you had not survived long enough for a reward. Though, any of you can take a second swing or a first swing at it if you'd like.
No.
Chilling.
All right.
Once is enough. Plus, I want to see what Roz wants to do.
Yes.
All right. Having brought that to a not quite a successful end, what would you like to do next?
I want to try out this magic tricks contest. So what is it?
All right.
So,
I'll explain to you the actual contest after I paint this little... if I paint the characters first. So, as you make your way to the Hidden Gem School, here within Dhromas, you would catch on the wind that there is a little contest going on. Basically for all of the children to adults to show off their magical prowess that they either learned here or have potentially learned at the Riddles Answer Academy.
Yeah. The other one.
Yeah, I just have to look at it real quick. Or just people with magical knowledge that come to the town and just want to show off a little bit. So, the people you find there are a...
Absolutely want to show off.
That's fair. The person you would notice there is Alaria, whom was on the train with you all, trying to study very hard for a potential at being let into the Riddle's Answer. She was specifically invited by the riddle's answer to come to the town of Dhromas for a potential scholarship, which she gladly took up and was studying for. Right. And then Kustan is a person who was also on the train, and they had an incredible opportunity of investment for somebody else that the party doesn't know is more special than they know. But he had constructed this automaton to block off his own room to not a very successful degree. The party had managed to sneak past this automaton on a bet with Kustan. He had said, if you manage to get past it, you can take whatever you want out of my room. It's yours to keep. I guarantee you won't be able to get in there at all. They did. They managed to get past, and along with a bunch of goodies, I believe, that they took from the room, they had taken some of his undergarments as well. I believe this was the party.
That's all we got.
That was my signature, yeah.
Yeah. And I forget if this was the party that learned about his secret project, but there was something else going on.
Yeah, I don't think so. All we were able to do was we sent the weasel into the room. I think the undergarments were all we were able to get.
Yeah.
We could have gotten more, but I 100% just wanted to make fun of him.
Right. It was a joke anyway, so he's not the BBEG with some nefarious plot. But Roz, you would recognize Kustan as one of the three Rakton brothers, whom you may have already put together are the ones that are responsible for the airships, as it is their port. They own the airship port. They are the ones that are responsible for designing the entire airship infrastructure, and then everybody else in town helps bring them to a reality. But they are the original creators and envisioners of the airships. Kustan is not the brightest of his two other brothers, but he is the black sheep of the family, trying his best to get out of the shadow that his brothers cast upon him, though not doing the greatest. Though, still very smart relative to normal folk. Those are the people you see there. Now allow me. If you'd like to talk to either of them, you can. And I'll look up the rules.
Not before, maybe after.
Alright. So, the magic tricks contest is basically you enter into the contest, and one by one, you go up in front of a crowd, whom is basically all of the other students that are either too young or too experienced to participate. You are to show them some magical tricks. Basically just something, your most wow-inducing spell. It can be a leveled spell, it can be a cantrip. You can do something special with the spell, like trying to shape it in some kind of a way. And basically, the more impressive your thought process is for how you want to shape the spell, or like how innovative you're going to be, is going to impact how, if you get advantage or if you get any other bonuses or anything of that kind. And then basically...
Am I limited?
Sorry?
Am I limited to just one spell?
It is meant to be one performance, or one showing. So, unless you're a sorcerer with like the speed enhanced thingy that I forget to make an action a bonus action, then I could allow 2 spells, but you'd be busy casting the 1 spell basically. And after you cast the spell, it is on you to make a Arcana check and a Performance check, again edited or altered by how impressive your thought process may be, or how you could just throw pure strength at it as well. And then, based on the rules, you will either have done well or bad.
Okay. Before I start this, I will say that like I still have Xavier in Weasel form. I haven't changed him back, so I'm gonna have him just kind of on my shoulder and have him kind of just assist me.
All good.
But yes, I'm trying to do this. I have an idea.
All right. So, the entrance fee for this one is a measly 5 silver. If you'd like to start.
Easy. Yep.
All right. So I assume we have one contestant for this one. All
I don't think they can do that.
That's why I figured. All right. So, all of the magically inclined folk are brought in front of a crowd, ready to cast their spells. First up is Alara, or what did I name her? Alaria. That's the one. Alaria goes up and, with all the might and concentration that a human could muster, she puts her hands together in a very like this is important, this is wow what I'm doing, and then she creates a few little sparks out of her hand. And with a look of absolute glee and excitement in her face, unfortunately the crowd doesn't quite match her own enthusiasm for this spell, though after realizing that she's finished already, a few of them try to be nice and give a consolation clap. Then, next up is Kustan. Say again?
Never mind, I misread my spell. We're chilling.
Alright. Next up is Kustan, the crafter, Rakton, whom goes up to the crowd, very nonchalant and with his chest held up high. He is ready to dazzle. He puts together his hands and starts to weave the magics around himself with something that you would probably recognize. Actually, I'll save that. He starts to weave his hands together in order to create magic into this world. As he does so, he flicks out his wrists, and out of every single one of his digits, 10 cannons start to apparate in front of him, seemingly pulling wood and steel from the surrounding barracks and the surrounding houses to build himself just an armada of these weapons in front of himself. And as he does so, he sort of flicks his nose, and off flies a firebolt, which goes around and strikes all 10 of the matches, or all 10 of the starting sequences of these cannons in front of him, and they get closer and closer to the main body of the cannons, as he moves them about to all be aimed towards all of the, or not the contestants, but the people watching this happen. They're aimed right at them. And all 10 of the cannons go off one by one, throwing their cannonballs towards the crowd, and as the cannonballs hit, they turn into nothing but vapor. Harmless, physically, though mentally scarred. He holds his hands up high in the sky, expecting a applause. However, he is met with stares and mouths agape, as people are horrified at what he has just done to a lot of children, though a lot of adults as well. They did not get out with clean undergarments. And eventually, he is escorted off stage. Now, up next is our very own. What would you like to do in this position?
I'm gonna walk up to the center stage really elegantly, and I'm gonna do this really elegant bow. It's kind of like the one where like they kind of go down. They put like one like their right hands on like their chest, and the other hands like extended outward, like really like showman like. This is not part of my magic trick, but I'm going to use a combination of minor illusion and prestidigitation to like when I bow, I want there to be like a column of that black smoke to pop out, and just kind of little like sparkling like lights of like of red coming out of it, just to make a show of it, just to make an entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the act itself, so I've got Xavier on my shoulder. I'm gonna try and call up like 3 of the kids.
Okay.
Come like assist me.
They do so.
Sick. Xavier's gonna go around and kind of like play with him a little bit, but I'm gonna gather him real close, and I'm gonna I'm gonna put my hand up to the sky, and I'm gonna cast, at second level, just to make it a little more like brighter. I'm gonna cast Burning Hands directly above me, so that the flames kind of come down around us.
Okay.
But I have, because of my evocation school, I have sculpted spells, so it does not harm them.
Nice.
It automatically succeeds and they take no damage.
Very
So I'm
nice.
just kind of like showering them in fire, and let them kind of like just experience it and stuff.
All right. As you hold up your hands, and out comes a burning, bright hot flame that shoots out of your fingertips. And then eventually, gravity takes them once again, and the embers fall down all around you, creating this beautiful little visage. And as the children reach up to touch the fire that they see in front of them, they notice that, while warm, not harmful, not painful in any way, shape, or form, it simply falls down around them like a horrifying snowstorm. However, not painful this time. And as they reach up, they go, "More! That was great! See, he can cast magic." And then there's another kid that goes, "He's the magic man." And then the crowd erupts into a cheer, as this time it is a much less horrifying showing in front of them. Please make me
bowing
a...
and using more precipitation, like sparkles. Well, I'm bowing. Sorry.
Roll me both an Arcana and Perception, or excuse me, Arcana and Performance check with advantage, both of them.
Okay. Hellbear. Let's do Arcana first. That's kind of funny. That's the only intellect one that's higher than my charisma one. This plus. So that's 16 on the Arcana, and then. Well, for some reason I selected disadvantage, but the higher one was 17 plus 4, so 21. 21 on performance. Yes, that's the one I wanted the high one for.
Well, with stats like that, how can I possibly resist? So, you managed to cop for yourself the highest prize possible. You are first place, while one
Heyo.
other person has been disqualified, and the other person takes a mandatory second place. You are gifted 60 silver pieces for your victory here today. And a standing ovation.
Nice, that's what we really wanted.
That's what really mattered. All these kids have now seen this incredible performance before them. You're sure that they're all inspired to do better in school and learn what you have done today. Though you're also slightly scared that some of them might try to do it this very afternoon.
Wouldn't be the first time. I remember those days. But I do want to go up to Ilaria, just like, don't worry, I thought your sparkles were quite gorgeous. Keep up.
Thank you, though not everybody seems to share that opinion. At least I had the wisdom not to shoot cannonballs at them.
It's true, that scared me even a little bit. I was ready to react to that, but... It was cool in hindsight, but... But anyways, have a good one.
Hey, you too. Alright.
Alright, well that was my thing that I wanted to do, I guess. There's some other things. What else did we want to do?
That's a great question.
Did anyone want to try the... Go ahead.
No, I was accidentally grabbing somebody. No, my screen blanked out. Sorry. You can do it. You can say what you wanted to do.
Did anyone want to try the knowledge contest?
I mean, I'm definitely down.
Alright. I assume we're all... Jesus.
I'll
Words are
watch.
eluding me. Alright. The knowledge contest it is. So, you all make your way to, for one of you, a familiar place. I'm also going to change this. Give me a second.
There you go again.
Alright. Hopefully that music will be better. But you all make your way back to probably the second largest building in this entire city. Almost rivaling the prowess and the grandiose nature of the palace of House Chrysalis, which one of you would recognize as House Chrysalis. You make your way towards the riddle's answer. Now, the riddle's answer is being is hosted within the same building as a few other institutions, though the main thing that this is known for, this building is known for, is the riddle's answer itself. As you all move in, you see this incredible library that stretches as far as your eyes could ever hope to see. And there's more books there than any one person could ever even know the titles of, let alone the insides of them. So, while you see that, you see table after table after table after table with a bunch of eager students willing to prove themselves in this contest of knowledge, which spans over a few different areas of the school's teachings. At the head of this all, you would notice that there is Sir Dhromas, or, as one of you would know him, Principal Dhromas, who's been heading this school for almost as long as it's been around. The principal stands at the head of this large room and is speaking to everybody to sort of get them filtered in and get them ready, get everybody seated for the upcoming contest. Along with the principal, you would see... First of all, anything special for him?
Since we just got here, I'm not trying to, like, see anybody I know, so I'm probably trying to, like, you know, throw my hood up and go on the outskirts type deal. Stay out of sight. Specifically from people I know.
Alright. You would know Dhromas as a strict teacher, or, well, a grand teacher, though he's always looking to implement new sort of techniques to improve efficiency within the schooling system itself. Flanking him, and sitting down for their own participation in the contest, you see Vix, the visionary Recton, which is sort of the de facto leader of the three brothers, as he seems to be the most gifted in things concerning the mind. And also Mudrick, the mad Recton. Now, whether he is truly mad, or whether people are simply too simple to comprehend what this man is talking about or thinking about, nobody really knows. So, knowing that the contest is about to get started, and that the knowing that the entry fee is 10 silver pieces, which one of you would like to enter?
I'm entering, yep.
Makes sense.
Entering anonymously.
Everybody is, for those who want to join, it is basically you're meant to just sit down at this very long table that has been set up, which is multiple rows of tables. And behind every row, every so often is a teacher that is standing behind the students entering. Basically just to look if you're doing anything untoward. So you're handed a small piece of paper that you're supposed to write down your answers on. And then at the end, you will be shown, or told, I should say, if you're correct on those answers or not. So, that makes for one contestant. Eventually, the principal gets up to the microphone at the very end of this entire setup and goes, "Everybody, I would like you all to be ready. We're about to begin the knowledge section. What you're supposed to do is listen to my question, and you write down the answer on the piece of paper that has been handed to you. Then, if you are correct, you win a point. If you are not, you do not. And at the end, the person with the highest amount of score wins. good luck to you all. I hope all of you remember what you've been taught. We are about to start. You'll be given 8 questions in total. Alright. So, the first question is going to be a question concerning biology. He asks you, in the local flora, what color do the leaves of the mudrot plant present themselves as? So, please make me a nature check.
Nature, okay. Uh-oh.
Perhaps one of us has fallen asleep.
I believe that is the case. But let me try it. I think. Sorry, I had it pulled up and then I moved it to Discord. 20. Not natural.
All right.
Oh man.
That passes. Besides shouting in the microphone, I'm not entirely sure how to wake somebody up across the planet.
Try Peyton.
That is fair. Is set to. Yeah. Oh, that didn't even. There you go.
He's getting my sleep, apparently.
He's getting enough sleep for the 3 of us.
Yeah.
I'm actually at hour about 28 of not sleeping.
Ooh, yeah, I've been there. I've been there many times.
I couldn't sleep last night, so I just gave up and said, okay, I'll stay awake for the day.
Yep. I've done that so many times. I learned that when I was in the military, and it's like a new skill of mine. Alright, I'm going to abuse him.
Yeah, so. Alright. And then the other contestants will also roll for them. They both succeed. Music is getting a little bit away from me here.
Play some epic battle music instead.
Yeah, right.
Or like everyone else mute it and then play some fucking like screamo. Like.
That'll be fitting, I imagine. Right. So both of them succeed. And you had also enough to succeed. I don't remember how much it was, but it was above the potential DC, so there you go.
30-20.
Right. Red is the answer, which, as you write it down, eventually one of the teachers comes by, or one of the assistants mostly, comes by and notes that you have a correct answer. So, you have 1 point to your name.
Heyo.
Next up, I will ask you a question about the gracious gods around us. So, if, perchance, you had the idea to start some sort of a successful game, perhaps that is more community-oriented, what god would you call upon to aid in that endeavor? Roll me a religion check, please. And they will as well. Oh, dear God.
19.
19. You get another point. However, neither of the brothers seem too concerned with the gods, so neither of them have any idea what he is even talking about. You would know that the god he is referencing is Seclusus. So, as you write down that answer, one of the teachers eventually nods, and you have another point.
I got lucky and passed the only int thing that I'm not proficient in, so.
Nice. Next,
Very good.
I'm going to be asking you a question about the arts of Arcana. I do hope you've all been paying attention. Now, which one of the following is an ingredient needed for most illusionary spells? Is it a pinch of salt? A smattering of goo? Or a penguin's fetter? Roll me a Arcana check, please.
14.
14, alright. Let me see. The DC is that. DC is 13. You said what?
14.
13, alright. Or 14. So you succeed on this one. Let's see if the other ones do. Dear God Almighty. Okay. That's like the second natural one that Brother Vix has rolled, so that is really unfortunate for him. And then
Honestly, they were drinking too much.
yeah, they've been rolling like absolute garbage. Shame for them. That was the third question. If I could spell. Next up, I would like to test your knowledge of religion once again. Which of the gods... There's two options here. Which of the gods have ever had a mortal child? Roll me a religion check, please.
Ooh, first bad one, 7.
Wow! And that's a natural 20 from one of them, and a 3 from the other. So,
yeah, I almost got a natural 1. That was sad.
and yours was, well, how much was it?
7 total.
7. All right, which one? Which one of the gods?
I'm gonna leave it blank.
Fair enough. That's a failure. As one of the teachers comes by, they first don't come to you for a while because they think that you haven't yet written down your answer. But eventually one does come and he's like, oh, blank. Yeah, no. And then he walks away again.
It's strategy.
All right. I would like to hone in on your knowledge of biology. Please name me a muscle found in the hands of somebody who could be, whom would be named half-elven. Roll me a nature check, please.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. This one being natural because this is okay. Natural 1. Yeah, this is a bad one. So
Unfortunately,
nature bad.
who cares? So you have no idea what the answer is to this question.
I'm stone faced still. Still haven't answered.
That is the
Blank.
third natural one. Dear Lord. Yes, these guys are meant to be smart. They have great bonuses, but you can't out-bonus a natural 1.
I rolled a 2 and a 1 just now, so.
Next question. I would like to once again drill your knowledge of the higher beings. Which, along various roads of Seclusus, that's the planet's name, excuse me, along many roads, you would see the visage of one of our gracious gods. Which one? Roll me a religion check, please. 15. Right, let me see the DC for this one. The DC is 12. All right, so you pass this one. That would be... Excuse me while I go fetch his name real quick. I would fail my own quiz. Crazy. Granted, I'm making up these questions right now. That's why I don't have the answers.
I'm from Texas, dog. All my teachers were like that. They always got their own stuff wrong.
That's fair. He is... Oh, I don't have them written down here. I have them written down in here. But you know what? It's fine. You write down the successful answer, and eventually one of the teachers comes by and nods as you have been given another point. Okay, starting to run on in the later half of the quiz here. Now, I would like to once again ensure that you are worthy arcane casters. Please tell me the gravitational pull of the spell Sinkhole. Roll me a Arcana check.
$22.
It's 4 times normal gravity.
Hey yo.
And then, let's see if our other boys know that. What is going on? Neither of them have rolled above a 10. And I've been rolling 2 dice for every single question, and none of them have been above 10. Good God, guys, come on.
Making faces at them as I watch their mental crumble.
They're really either not paying attention, or something is happening with them. They're still succeeding, a lot of them, because they're have crazy modifiers. Alright. That was 5, 6. Again, I must ensure that you have plentiful knowledge of beings far greater than ourselves. If you were under attack, which of the gods would be most likely to come to your aid? Religion check, please.
Oh, natural 1.
I also rolled another nat 1 and a natural 2. These guys are not paying attention. Which one?
I don't know the name of the god, so I don't know. Yeah.
All
Gosh
right.
dang it.
And then I'll have this be the last question. Let's roll a history check, because by God, he's not rolled a single 2 on this D4 here.
Oh, what I've been waiting for.
All right. I would like to probe your knowledge of the past. Please, the last greatest kingdom to be known. What was its name? Roll me a history check. And I'll roll for the DC of this one. 14 DC. I assume you rolled higher than that. I can't tell if you're muted right now.
You hear me?
No, I can. There you go.
I wasn't muted, but that was weird. I got a 15, yeah.
All right. The Triumvirate of Opulence. And let me see if the other two... Not that it matters, because you outpointed them pretty drastically, I'm pretty sure. Alright. And that will be all. Please pass along your little piece with an identifier. Whether it be your name or the hair color you carry, I do not care. Please, we will tally the scores, and whichever ones of you did very well, you shall be gifted a monetary prize, because I do not believe any one of you would really take proper care of any magical instruments. Alright, so with your performance, you have been gifted 100 silver pieces, or 10 gold.
Hey, yo.
There we go. And you have done very well in the contest of knowledge.
Dick. I guess I would just put down my own name or whatever. No guys, but yeah.
Your real name?
Yeah.
I see an interesting name amongst ourselves today. Appears we've got a bit of a copycat among us. Please, Ross Fotcher, would you make your way to the front?
Really appreciate this copycat nonsense, but sure.
Hello, Roz. It's been quite some time.
Oh, it's the principal? I thought it was somebody else. Damn.
Yeah, the principal was the one who was, like, calling out people to be if you wanted to keep it hidden, we can go that route as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and conceal my identity, just from him specifically, because I know that he would recognize me. Because I want to like deal with the group stuff, and then go to like and then I was gonna go to my study and do all my regular stuff, but I wasn't ready to reintegrate yet. So I guess I will keep it hidden. Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
That's fair.
Or try to hide it.
You're called forth the same way. Well, not by him, but you are basically... People eventually come up with you with just, like, the winnings, and they pass you on the 100 silver. These guys don't recognize you, though.
Okay.
Alright.
Sick.
Anything else?
I think that was it for me, now that we were a man down.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I want to wait to see how things go when the group is here before I start doing my own, like, internal stuff. Because I know that someone else has some dramatic stuff going on in the city, too.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm still just trying to do field tests, so I'm not really in a rush to get back yet.
Alright. We can go ahead and just, continue with a bunch of contests and have some fun. So, is there anyone that currently pulls the party towards us?
I mean, I'm down to the dancing contest, if we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I can do the dancing contest.
Alright. So, you all make your way towards the biggest palace that is to be found anywhere. You make your way through, and you would notice that while it's made to be beautiful, the vast majority of it is of the construction of the architecture is made to be efficient and is made to be defendable if needed. You would notice that there are plenty of murder holes that run through a bunch of the hallways of this palace. Murder holes being literally just holes in which you could, or in which the room that the murder holes are in, you would basically trap a bunch of attacking enemies in there with portcullises or whatever you may have. And then once they're in there, basically just poke at them through a bunch of holes in the wall until they're dead. So you notice that even though it's a palace, they still have defenses in there. They're meant to be obfuscated, and they're not as obvious as just a normal castle would have them, but they are definitely there, as you would notice. And eventually, you are pulled into a sort of a very large hall that is seemingly meant to be some kind of a courtroom that has now been retrofitted into basically shoving all the furniture to the side and has been retrofitted into this very large ballroom, as the local ballroom that is within the premises was deemed not large enough to, house a lot of people at once. Is typically reserved for nobile. However, this time it's been opened up to the public. Inside of it, okay, there we go. Inside of it, you will notice that there are a few gentlemen. As you enter the actual room itself, you will notice that there are 3 chairs, though saying they're chairs really doesn't do them justice. You would see 3 thrones at the very right side of this room. The left and right one are currently occupied by Dhromas Irongate, whom you saw before, and Valus Cretine, whom I will talk about a bit more in a second. And the middle chair, however, the most opulent one, the biggest one, the most central one, is seemingly currently not occupied. And within the bit of a lower setting, where the actual entire rest of the room is, you would notice that there are a few, a lot of people, but none that are important for the story. You would, however, notice that there is 2 teachers that are currently sort of beginning to get ready for the eventual potential contest that is going to be taking place here. These teachers are too new for to have been around during Roz's time. However, you would recognize Miss Relamic. Not Ross, but she was on the train. Miss Relamic was on the train with her fiancé, whom she did not know where he was. This was Mr. Relamic. Mr. Relamic eventually came back to her, though. And they have once again, though, split up as she took more interest in the dancing competition while he did not. But those are the three people you see that are actively down there dancing. Back up higher in the little throne section that I talked about, you would see Mr. Phallus, whom should be on this side. This is the right-hand man of Lord Malekith himself. This is a tall, half-elven man with long black hair and heavy armor. And he himself is a rather pale gentleman, but besides that, you don't really know anything about him. You would know that he was, when you were around, Roz, he was a new adult, like or young adult, as regular people call it. He was a young adult, half-elven man, whom was always sticking around Lord Malekith, and even then, he was already acting as some kind of bodyguard, and in the later years, seemingly has made his way up the chain, and is now a full-on right-hand man with political power of his own. And that's what you see when you enter the room.
Okay. Ugh. There's definitely something in my drink. So is it, everyone's just dancing, or is there a competition going to start up here in a sec?
Currently, Mankrik, Hiplin, and Miss Relamic are just dancing to themselves, getting ready, but the contest will be starting relatively soon, yes.
Yeah, I'm down to do a dancing contest.
Alright.
Yeah, I am too.
You would notice that Relamic...
Oh?
Oh, we have life?
Has he risen?
From his slumber, he rises again. Hello.
Yeah.
Alright. We had a competition of knowledge, which was a quiz, which was done successfully by our resident Roz. And then then the party had moved towards a dancing contest within the halls of House Chrysalis's main palace. And everybody is currently getting ready for a competition. You would notice that Relamic doesn't seem to have a dancing partner, which is interesting. As the competition is announced to everybody, it is said that it is a two-person group activity. And everybody will be into groups, separated into groups of two, or they can choose their own partner. And then those partnerships will be judged on how well they do together.
Okay.
And then Miss Relamic seemingly has no partner. All right. Let me pull up the competition. Oh, here it is. I'm staring right at it. So, is there any two people that wish to be in a partnership, and one person whom would wish to talk with Miss Relamic?
Y'all intend to participate?
All right, we got one participant.
Nope, I'm not participating.
All right.
I'm going to participate. I'm just not sure how we're going to...
That's fine. Oh yeah, we just double up.
All right.
Yep.
So I have to find somebody else.
All right. So, the two of you both enter into the competition and get paired up. So, in order to actually do this, I'll explain in a second. The dancing contest is announced to everybody, and you can see that Miss Relamic finds a chair to sit down, And then Teacher Mancrick and Hiplin form a union. While one of them is very small and one is very large, they seemingly have some kind of a dance routine figured out for themselves. So, as it begins, what you're meant to do is doing 3 rounds. What you're trying to do overall is get the highest score possible across 3 rounds. The highest score, singular score, will be counted. It doesn't matter if you get a score of 10, 10, and 10. That's not 30, that's 10. So, you're going for one very high one, basically. So, in order to actually do well in the dance, what you're going to do is roll a a performance check each round. Both of you will. And then the median number, or the average, of your 2 numbers together will count for your score. But if, for whatever reason, one of you rolls very high and one rolls very low, you will be considered out of sync. Thus, your score will be 0, because both of you will be doing such a different dance that it will turn into complete nonsense for anybody watching. However, what you can do is choose to slow yourselves down a little bit. You can choose to take disadvantage on your performance check. However, no matter how badly or how good one of you does, the difference no longer matters. Whatever your rolls will be are your rolls, and there's no desyncing issues. You don't have to worry about that. But, of course, that will be disadvantage for the both of you. So, and if you... Oh, right, the entry fee is 5 silver pieces. And then it's 100 silver pieces, 50, and 10 if you do very well, if you do poor, or if you do... Good God! Or if you do really poor. That's 10. So, for your first try at doing a good dance, would you like to take disadvantage, or would you like to roll straight?
Great.
Straight it is. Or assuming we both would like that.
Yeah, straight.
Alright, performance check from you both.
No. I'm so good at this, though. 7.
That's the struggle.
11.
Yeah, luckily enough
I
for
rolled
you,
a 3.
You both did roughly similar. So that's an 18 total, which is the average of 9. So, for your first dance, you're still getting to know each other and each other's movements a bit. It's not the greatest performance that the world has ever seen, but it's a solid start. That's the first round. The second round, Hiplin, I don't know why I have Huron on the mind. Hiplin is currently doing backflips off of Mancrick's back for their performance. It is not a competition between you two. It is just if you do good, you get a lot of reward. Thankfully, because otherwise Hiplin would be taking everybody's money. Now, for the second round, would you all like to do disadvantage or straight?
I would prefer straight.
Yeah, straight.
Straight it is.
$11.
12.
All right.
Yeah.
Man.
Say what you will. As semi-middle of the road as it may be, at the very least, it's in sync. So, both of you do relatively well on your second dance, better than before, and put up a very decent performance for yourselves. The second round nets you 12 points, which is your current highest lead. Now, for the last competition, or for the last round, would you like to roll straight or with disadvantage?
What was the benefit for rolling disadvantage again?
If one of you rolls very high and the other one rolls very low, then your score is 0. However, if you take disadvantage, then it doesn't matter how different your scores are, they will still be averaged out. If there's too much of a gap between... If you're rolling straight and there's too much of a gap, then it's 0. If you're rolling with disadvantage, there's no gap.
Frankly, I think straight is just the answer.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good charisma. I mean, I know I'm rolling low, but let's just do that.
Straight it is.
16.
Head. I don't know why I just couldn't roll above a 10. It's crazy.
All right.
They're
Well,
terrible rolls.
this time with an unexpected sort of bliss to the step, Alara managed to do quite well in this upcoming dance on round 3. So much so that Roz is caught off guard a little bit with the deftness of a few steps, and every so often gets his toes stepped on, and the two of you bump into each other every so often, and it seems that the intent between you two is not quite matching up. So, this round, you are 2 desynced, and your score is a 0. So you all got 12. That's your best running score. That is a medium score. Meaning, for this
Some stuff, but I rolled like trash.
For this performance, you both get 50 silver pieces given to you. So 100 total, 50 divided. Alright. The dance competition eventually comes to an end, and you see the Mancrick is currently like bouncing Hippelin up into the air with her trunk as he's doing backflips off her trunk.
Nice.
Alright. And that brings the dancing competition to an end.
We have been in that book for far too long. Interesting. I used to be much better at this.
Alright. Is there any other competition currently about that catches your interest?
The log tossing competition.
Alright. Moment. So,
On the way there, I'm gonna grab another glass of wine.
easy enough to find.
Back to that time.
Alright. You all make your way back, or, well, not back, but you make your way, well, kind of back, to the same part of the city as you make way for the log tossing contest. You see there a few good fellows. You would see one person that is recognized by the troop as Sir Hiard. Sir Hiard was on the train, and he got his pockets ran dry by a person doing card games with him. He was losing incessantly, and his pocket was draining expeditiously. Amongst him, you would see Sir Drek. Sir Drek Hakaris is the... Second?
Sorry, I accidentally grabbed your log tossing contest.
How
picture.
dare you? He is the... I forget which one. But he is the patriarch. He is the patriarch of House Fredri Otom. He is always known to be pragmatic and looking for growth for his house. Amongst him is also General Hoover. General Hoover is part of the Claspsmen. Alright. I don't have any other information about her. I don't believe this party has met her before, but she is a high-ranking member of the Claspsmen, whom is also participating in the contest. So, unless any of you would like to strike up a conversation, we'll get right on started.
Chilling.
All right. So, For the log tossing contest, the entry fee is 10 silver pieces, and the reward is a potential 60, 40, or 20. And you could see people preparing, and they seem to just be getting their blood flowing. It seems to be a simple task, this one. So, which ones of you would like to participate?
I'm going to.
Alright, we've got one.
Take a long sip of my wine.
Alright. So, 10 silver pieces down. You all line up, the contestants of this part, or contestants that are around, all line up in a horizontal line in front of a large array of logs. Now, there's a line drawn in front of you all, and you can see that there are a bunch of yard lines in front of you as well, dictating how far, notating how far every log will be thrown. Now, a log is placed in front of you. Please, roll me... Okay, excuse me. Please roll me a athletics check.
Athletics +4. No. 23.
23. Put some serious might into your throw, and it seems to be going roughly 23 feet out from your starting position. Now, before it started, you were also told that you must land the log upright. If you fail to do so, you lose. If it lands upright, then it is considered a fair throw. So, please also roll me a dexterity check, please.
Dexterity. +3. So 20. 22.
Oh, okay. So, knowing the stipulations before you throw, you wrap your hand around the log in such a way that you know you can give it a good flip, and it's sure to fall upright as it lands. Everybody throws their logs, and allow me to roll for them as well. However, none seem to make as much of a distance as yours did. And, given that yours also landed upright, you have thrown the furthest of a legal throw. You're awarded first place, and 60 silver pieces is given to you. And then especially General Hoover looks over to you in recognition of your physical prowess, and she gives a nod.
You hear a slightly slurred and unenthusiastic "woo" from the sidelines.
Just jumping up and down and clapping.
Well done. Is there any other games that seem to catch your eye?
So were we I know we started an hour late. Were we gonna extend an hour or two? Was that the plan?
If everybody has the time to do so, then yes.
Do we still have 3?
I believe so. Assuming. Hello, Huron?
I am currently trying to figure out why my internet's not working. I've moved over to my phone for Discord.
Right. Well, so the first time that I've ran, or I have ran a session with 2 before, I'm fine to continue if everybody else is.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
I may not be able to continue.
Okay.
Right. All right.
Is there an age limit on the ale drinking contest?
Mm, an interesting question.
Technically, my character's technically my character's 20, so that's why I'm asking.
Oh, well, that'd be 18. You're all good. 18 for
Okay.
whatever species you happen to be. All right.
Fuck it, let's send it. Drinking contest it is.
Drinking contest it is. Okay. As you all make your way towards this part of the town, you would notice actually that all of the crops that are, or all of the space for crops that are behind this establishment are all dry. And by dry, I don't mean literally dried out. I mean they're gone. There doesn't seem to be any sprouting of any kind. As you look, though, it doesn't seem to be thanks to. It doesn't seem to be thanks to a completely destroyed land. It is just that they don't seem to be planting anything at all. Something noteworthy. Now, as you make your way towards the ale drinking contest, you would find a building that seems to be a palace. Or not a palace, it seems to be a place of worship. It is known as the Bearers of the Heavens. As you come into this town, or into this building, you would notice that there are a lot of rooms. Every single one of the gods has a room specifically tied to them, where worshippers of said god go to do whatever worshippers do. Now, everybody except Hrúthir. He does not hold sanctuary here. Now, as you enter, you eventually would find, following the howls and the ravings of a bunch of mad drunk fools, you would find your way to the worship place of Seclusus, whom is known to be sort of a god of community and a god not necessarily of hedonism, but a god of like bringing people together, society, that sort of thing. So, it's here, under the guidance of said god, that the drinking contest is taking place. As you sit down at the table, those who wish to participate, you would see across the table is Dramita Tragon, the second child of Sir Tragon from the Night March. Again, kind of a spoiled brat. She has her own mug that is embezzled, or, well, maybe it is, but it's like it has gems laid into it all around. It's made itself of gold on the outside. It's very over the top. You would also notice a Sir Drickton. Drickton is the patriarch of the, well, he's the eldest father of the house, or not house, of the family Grudon, whom is, again, the craftsman of metalwork and stonework. He himself has a very fine blade at his side that is currently, it is sheathed, but the sheath is sort of stripped to show the blade, but still be a functional sheath. And to the right of him, we have Miss Clerton, whom is another one of the teachers at the Riddle's Answer. Oh, I forgot to mention that the teacher named Mancrick is a teacher at the Riddle's Answer. However, Hiplin is a general magic teacher at the Hidden Gem. And Miss Clerton is also a teacher at the Riddle's Answer.
Would I know any of them, or were they new?
They're too young to be
Okay.
from your time, including Clerton. And Clerton is also a follower of Seclusus. That's why she is here as well, partaking in a fun activity. Now, to enter the drunken, or the potentially drunk, currently drinking competition, it is drink. There we go. It's an entry fee of 10 silver pieces for those of you who wish to partake.
I'm already drunk on wine. I might as well. Might as well.
All
I
right,
will do that.
we've got one.
I will do that too.
We've got two. So 10 silver pieces each, and you are sat down at the table with these 3 contestants at your front. Now, on the first round, you'll get the rules as we go through it. So, the first round is a light starter round. They bring out a mug of Brightwood ale and put it down in front of you. At the go mark, all of you are meant to drink and down the entire mug in one go, which will, of course, bring forth a Constitution save. So, 3, 2, 1, and go. All of the contestants immediately grab their mug and throw back the alcohol. Both of you, please roll me a Constitution save.
I can't read it.
15. All right, that succeeds.
Sorry, just a sec. Ooh, I think it's an 8.
Rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
Whether it be the drinking that happened before, or the particular
Definitely.
knock from this alcohol in specific, you immediately feel a little bit dazy and a little rough after the first glass goes down. You're not out yet, but you might be soon. Now, on the second round, I have to roll for your adversaries as well. Temporary adversaries, but adversaries nonetheless. 1, 2, 3. Woof. Okay, so everybody seems to down that concoction quite well, except for Miss Clurton. It seems to have rattled its way down, and it's causing quite a stir in this one's stomach. Now, for the second round, they bring forth a mug of Splinter Tooth Ale. All of you, please roll me a Constitution check, as number 1 is called, and everybody throws back their drinks.
23.
Saves.
Oh God, it's a 4.
Is it a 4? Goodness.
Yeah, I rolled a 2. No.
5. 12. Okay. So the toughest one of the drinkers, and the drinker that started before the contest even began, they both throw back this drink and realize, oh boy, that might have been a bit much. The ground is getting close, is it not? And you pass out from the drinking. Effectively knocked out of this competition. And then you hear a poof as Miss Clurton's entire body falls on the ground as well. The hardest one to knock, the biggest bonus to Constitution. However, today maybe perpetual drinking has brought on an intolerance. Now, the other 2 contestants are doing perfectly fine. Next up,
I'm back home, bitches.
the third round. They put forth a mug of Doyle's Midnight Drought in front of the remaining contestants. Please roll me a Constitution save.
5. Ouch.
Succeed. All right. So, as you throw back the drink, you start to feel like this one is having an effect on you. You're not quite knocked out yet, as you're able to keep your composure proper. However, both of your adversaries seem to just tank this drink with no issues, no reaction, no facial movements whatsoever. They just throw it down. And neither seem affected by this particular poison. Now, for the bonus round, which will continue until all contestants but one drop, they bring out sort of a larger keg. Matter of fact, one person runs off to go get the keg, as it was not anticipated that people would, even be awake during this round. Now, as he comes back, The man who was sent off to go grab this keg is holding a rather small keg, and on the front of it there is a skull and bones that are green tinted. And they pour you a glass of an ale known as the Green Death Ale, and they pour it out in front of you in 3 distinct mugs to all the contestants. Please roll me a Constitution save again.
21.
21. And then we have, from the other adversaries, we have... Alright. Both of your allies in front of you, or enemies in this case, in front of you, throw down the drink, and unlike before, their iron constitution is perhaps not as iron as they thought. Perhaps getting a bit rusty with the consecutive hits of alcohol. They both seem to be a little shaken, though still in the competition. Another ale, or another mug, is poured for every single one of you. Please, one more constitution save.
Okay.
Or many more, who knows.
18.
Alright. So, Drekton throws back the drink with a frothy mouth, looks up, goes, "Hey, oh," and he falls backwards, knocked out of the competition, incapacitated. Miss Trigon, Dramita Trigon, drinks, almost froze up, but manages to keep it down with a force of will, and puts down her mug once again, and seems to have shaken off the effect of this drink. However, our ally takes the drink and immediately realizes that a second was maybe a second too many, and the ground meets your face as you have fallen back, and the alcohol has put you out of the competition, leaving only Dramita Trigon as the victor. Right. And to the victor goes the spoils. You can see that they bring out sort of a silver chalice to her, and give it off to her. Unfortunately, everybody else wins nothing. All right. So that is the ale drinking competition done and dusted.
When they're all now drooling on the floor.
Eventually, after some time passes, you reawaken from your alcohol-induced stupor.
It was close.
Yeah.
Yes.
The featherweights won, by the way. The person with +3. Alright. Is there any other competitions that seem to catch your eye?
Not entirely, no.
Well, there's not a lot of options left.
I am but a wizard.
That's fair.
Let's see some. Okay. Shell game would probably be intelligent. I screen. Stop blinking about.
The shell game is a lot of luck.
Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, let's do that then.
Alright. As you approach the table where a shell game is being held, you'll find a person by the name of Miss Ryun, whom was on the train actively draining the pockets of Sir Hiard that you've met before. And she is once again doing her deed as she is dealing out, or as she is playing the like the 3-cup game by placing an item on the table, putting a cup over it, shuffling, and then it is Sir Halftrin's objective to guess which one of them is correct. Sir Halftrin, being a relatively new member of House Frederi Atom, is known.
I would like to do something real quick while this is going on, if I could. I would like to send Xavier and kind of go on the side and kind of watch from an angle where I see where her hands are and see if she's doing some kind of trick.
Okay.
I want to try and discern what her play is.
All right. I'll explain that in a minute. So,
okay.
Sir Halftrin, the owl fellow, is a relatively new member of the House Frederi Atom, and he is known for bringing in sort of out-of-the-box ideas that nobody would think to make money. However, he's there to test them to see if they indeed do. Not the brightest tool in the shed. However, known for his tenacity. Next to him is another teacher, whom you actually would recognize, Roz, as he is not biological in nature. This one is made up out of clay that has been dried. He is alive, for all intents and purposes that matter, really, but he is a non-biological being, a construct. And such, he teaches the craft of creating constructs and magical non-biological knowledge and interactions. He's the one that teaches that. It is rumored that long ago, he used to have a body of his own, a biological one, born just like you and me. However, nowadays, he seems to have abandoned that one. And you've always known him as the non-biological construct.
Sure. Sounds good.
Now that you're paying some attention to Miss Ryun's hands, out of roughly half of the time, she is doing something that you probably don't think is within the rules of the game that she's playing.
Player, always a player.
As you both approach, or are relatively within distance, she goes, we found more players, huh? Would you like to play a little game?
I think I'll watch for now. I wanna watch someone else play and observe further.
Not the most bravest one in the flock, huh? That's okay. Maybe perhaps one of your allies would like to play a little game. Right. So, the entry fee for this one would be a 5 silver piece per bet. And then it's one participant at a time. So she has a bean, which she places underneath 3 little shells, and then shuffles them. And it is, of course, your prerogative to guess the correct one. However, she... actually, I'll have her explain this. I pop a little bean under one of the shells, huh? And then I simply shuffle them. However, I'll tell to you right now. There is a chance I may cheat. Huh? All within the rules of the game. You have to guess if I am cheating or if I'm playing fair. If you guess whether or not I am cheating or playing fair as a fiddle, only then can you guess the correct cone which I've placed the bead under. If you think I'm cheating when I'm playing fair, you lose automatically. If you think I'm cheating, or if you think I'm playing fair when I am in fact cheating, you also lose immediately. So, would anybody like to play a game?
I think I'll go. I believe I'll play your game for now. See what happens.
She goes, it appears perhaps you've put more stock in your own ability, huh?
But I've run out of the money that you gave me last time on the drinks. I need more drinks, so.
Ah, fair enough. Let's see if you can keep this streak going, huh? Please
Let's see.
move, she says to the owl person who is, like, intently studying the table because he seemingly lost a good amount of gold and is trying to figure out how and why. But he does move out of the way. So, would you like to start with the 5 silver bet, or are you feeling a bit more adventurous, huh?
Oh, adventurous.
How much would you like to put in?
I happen to have just 5 silver, so let's do that for now.
Perhaps adventure is scary to someone. That is okay. And then
No, just simple pocket change. I want to get rid of. I don't want to keep.
You have to learn the rules of the game too. And then she puts down 5 silver as well. So, just to reread the rules real quick. So, you are either going to roll me a perception or an insight. Perception, if you think she's playing fair, in which case it will be to see where the bean goes, or a deception to see, or insight, excuse me, if you think she is cheating, and therefore you're going to be studying her instead to see how she cheats. If you choose insight while she is playing fair, you lose automatically. If you choose perception while she's trying to cheat, you lose automatically. And then the actual roll will decide whether or not you're capable of telling if she's lying, if you're trying to see that, or capable of following the bean, if that's what you're trying to do.
Okay.
All right. So, she puts down.
I have.
Mhm.
You go ahead. Actually, I'll wait.
She puts down bean, puts the 3 shells on top of them, and starts shuffling. Now, do you think she's cheating or playing fair?
So I still have Xavier positioned. Did he get a feeling like she messed with it again? Because he watched her do it the funny business last time. Does it feel like he gets that same vibe? Will he let me know about that?
Let me do this. Okay, this time he doesn't. I'm doing something behind the scenes. There's a chance that he will pick up if she's playing true or false. This time he doesn't know.
So, answer is whether I think they're cheating or not.
Yes. Do you believe that right off the bat she's cheating, or if she's playing fair?
I don't think she's cheating right now.
All right. So that will then be a perception check to try and follow the bead.
Okay. $11.
11. All right. 1, 2, or 3?
2.
All right. You point to, after she's done shuffling them about, you point towards the middle shell. She picks it up and goes, "Not this time, huh?" There is no bean underneath this middle shell.
This is fine. This is fine.
Perhaps your eyes got a little bit lazy, huh? And she takes the 5 silver pieces off the table.
Yes, they must have been lazy. I say, kind of directed at Xavier. I will put down 2 gold pieces.
She turns around like, "I believe your eyes are really getting lazy. I'm just sitting in front of you, my dear." Now, you said 2 gold, huh? You're really stepping it up a little bit. As always, whatever you put in, I will match, huh? She puts down 2 gold. Now, do you think you could follow my hands this time, huh? She puts down the bean in the middle, puts the shell over top of it, and starts shuffling. All right, let me see if Xavier can catch 2. All right. So let me see. She is cheating.
Okay. Do I declare like before I pull it up, or do I declare before like when do I declare that I think they're cheating?
Considering she's cheating, it will be a deception check to try and find out how, and then you can basically tell her at the end, and that will be your victory.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So a successful deception check means you win, pretty much. A non-successful one means you don't.
I am good at deception. Very good at deception.
Or insight, excuse me.
Oh. I can't use deception to try and figure out how they're lying?
Oh, hold on. I wrote this down badly. It is a perception against her. Jesus Christ. I wrote this down horribly. It is insights versus her deception. Excuse me. That's what it is.
That is dramatically worse.
I wrote down like a drunkard. It is, for you, it's either perception or insights. Against her doing what she's doing. Either sleight of hand or deception. But you know for a fact she's cheating. So, insight it is. Please roll me a insight check.
12.
Alright. As she moves about her hands, you know for a fact that at some point in time, she's going to do something. And you're waiting for it. The second you see it, you're going to call it out and win. You're waiting for it. And you're waiting for it. And you're waiting for it. And her hands stop. And she gestures. Oh, she stopped shuffling. Appears you've missed your chance. Now, please point to me which one you think has the little beam.
The right one. Yeah.
Well, perhaps you've had maybe a bit much to drink. Were you talking about my rights or yours?
Maybe the drink. There goes all my drinking money, so.
Were you talking about my rights or yours? I have not yet lifted them.
Wait, what are they saying?
Well, it's come to the end, and then she has the 3 shells in front of her, and she's asking which one of them has the bean under it.
Oh, I said the right one.
Yeah, but which right?
3 or whatever.
Right. She grabs the one that's to your right, and she picks it up and goes, no bean. Unfortunate. And she grabs the 2 gold off the table. Perhaps not as lucky this time as you were before, huh? Maybe you'd like to step it up?
No, I'm done now. I'm going to stop.
Oh, a bit of a shame, huh? To leave without winning?
Luckily, I'm not that kind of gambler, so we're good. We're good.
Gambling is but a hobby, as much as any other ones. You have fun for your money, the same way you would alcohol.
All great gamblers stop just before their big score. I don't believe in that nonsense, so I'm good.
Maybe so. But what I am offering is a game more with your skill. But if you'd like to stop playing, I cannot make you. Your allies maybe though. Perhaps they'd like a go. Well, I take that as a no then.
No.
Well, perhaps your pockets run even deeper, Mr. Halftron. Would you like to wiggle, huh? Oops. Indeed. I figured out your little trick. And this time, I will win. And Halfton steps back up to the plates. Of course you will. Of course you will. All players win eventually, huh? Perhaps this time the dice owe you. And then he goes back to losing more money, unfortunately for him.
Feel it.
The entire time, the teacher, Droon, was just standing back and watching. Alright. So, unless any talking to... Wow. English is not agreeing with me today. Is there any other one that you would like to try? There is one option.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in the horse racing.
Alright. Perhaps Alara would like to go?
Yeah, is there a draft horse?
Yeah, you get to choose a horse. You're not the one riding
Oh,
it.
good. Oh, okay. That's good.
I believe that's correct. Hold on. Oh, the contestants saddled their horse. Never mind. You are racing. Alright.
If I asked if there was a draft horse, because I know a draft horse was most likely handle me.
Alright. As you all make your way towards where you expect the horse race to go, you will notice there are 3 individuals seemingly ready to either join the fun or put their money elsewhere. Now, first person you would notice is Miss Gistron, a person who's apparently French, whom was on the train before with you all as well. And she was the one who was looking for just her dear little kitty. Nothing more, nothing less. She seemingly has deep-reaching pockets and is also here to bet. Unlike everybody else, though, or unlike you all, perhaps, she is the one, or she is also part of House Fredriotom. And instead of her getting on the horse and making an absolute fool out of herself, she has a designated rider with her, whom will be taking her stead in riding. Next to her, you would notice Sir Trigon. Sir Trigon is the patriarch and owner of the Night March Treasury and Trusts Bank. He similarly has deep-reaching pockets. Let me see. And he is the... and he came here semi-recently, together with the Night March Bank. And like I said, he also has deep-reaching pockets, and thus has a person ready to ride in his stead. Now, the last person, one of you would recognize as another one of the teachers. This is the teacher Joptun. Now, Joptun is an interesting one, because Joptun is a literal piece of crystallized lotus. There is no body that comes with this. It is a singular piece of a chrysalis that has a person with them. However, you would eventually notice that the piece of chrysalis, or the piece of crystallized lotus, is capable of speech, thought, and for all intents and purposes is animate, though incapable of actual movement. Though they have a handler with them, of course, to walk them around. This one, Roz, you would recognize, because this one's been a teacher for a very long time, and age does not affect them. They used to be the teacher of magical items and infusions in their time, and still is teacher there. Also in the riddles answer.
Hello.
Now, for the horse racing competition, the most potential for making money on this one. So, The entrance fee will be 100 silver pieces for whoever wishes to take this. Then, you are to be sat upon your horse, and you will start the race. Then 3 rounds will happen where you basically have to do something specific, which I won't divulge to you now. But it is 3 different checks, 3 different abilities that you have to bring to the table to win here, or sheer dumb luck. Now, how well you do in each round will basically dictate how fast you clear the entire thing on average, and then that will be levied against the other people participating, and then from that you will be given a reward, or you'll come in second place and get nothing. So only first place gets a reward in this one. So, whom would like to enter?
I would. How much is it again?
It will be 100 silver pieces or 10 gold.
10 gold.
I'd be willing to try.
Okay.
All right. It's also 10 gold. All right. So, 2 of you don your horses that are provided to you, and a bunch of riders that seem to have done this quite time and time again join you as well, as their patrons look them on and say either very mean words, no, actually just mean words, except for the piece of lotus, which is very encouraging to their designated rider. Now, so everybody gets ready. You're all lined up behind a bar that is barring you all from beginning the race. 3, 2, 1. Poof. The bar goes down and you're all set to go. Both of you, please make me a constitution check.
19 for me.
9.
9.
It's killed my horse.
Alright. You do not murder the horse. However, the horse's saddle murders your comfortability. This was basically to see how well both of you take to the saddle, and one of you did quite well in adjusting to it and, going with the ride. Now, second of all, please roll me an animal handling check to see how well you can communicate to your horse. Please go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, and there we go. Ew, 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a +4.
That is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure is.
All right. So, at the end of this journey, I would like both of you to please make me a constitution check and animal handling check with disadvantage.
Both with disadvantage or just...
Both.
Okay.
So let's start. I guess I'll start with Constitution. That was supposed to be 2 dice. Why did you roll in the 1?
8.
8 for constitution. And...
There we go. 8 for Constitution.
wow, okay.
Come on.
In sync after the first roll.
Seems like it. And
8.
4. Natural 1 for me.
Okay. So a 16 and a 12. All right. 18. All right. Given your relatively new approach or newness to the arts of horse riding, you do eventually get comfortable in the saddle and comfortable with the reins and getting your ideas across to the horse that you think, you know what, we're actually getting a hang of this. Bing! The first person has taken first place. And unfortunately, you're only roughly 45% of the way through the course. And many other people start hitting the finish line. Unfortunately, today was not your day. Today, you did not take first place. And you're escorted away eventually. Well, you're not thrown out, but you make your way eventually to the finish line and go away with nothing.
Yeah, I probably should have seen that coming.
You would notice that a rather hefty bag of gold is being handed over to the victor.
Yep.
It was a worthy attempt. Would have been difficult to win, but if you did, that would have been a grand payday.
You can't win with anything less than a 10.
It's a tough world.
D20 is an unfair bastard.
All right.
Boy, is it, isn't it?
All right. Well, you have made your way through all of the contests and fun activities to do within the city of Dhromas. So, it'd be a wise choice to go ahead and end the session here today. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I did.
Yep.
It is. Thank you.
Yep.
It was a good day.
Thank you for attending. And I'd love to see you all
also-
next week.
Yep.
I am so sorry, y'all. Thank you for bearing with my technical difficulties.
That's all good. I assume you're not
It was better than
maliciously.
the snoring.
I assume you're not
snoring was quite
maliciously
loud.
destroying your internet. So,
Well, my computer seems to be maliciously destroying itself. One of the, apart from my Wi-Fi adapter broke.
oh yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I had to perform some percussive maintenance.
All reliable.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but I got to go buy a new Wi-Fi adapter now. But see y'all next week.
Yep. Love to see you all next week.
Yep.
Been a pleasure. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.